of North Carolina, the redshirt sophomore, a 5-2 winner earlier today over San Martino from Virginia. Moore is part of this youth movement for Virginia Tech. St. Paris, Ohio, wrestled for Jeff Jordan at Graham.
This lower back lock, there's a certain number of guys who can really capitalize from that position into headlocks, into sort of converted bear hugs, but didn't work out that time for Headlee.
But Tim, it's interesting when you look at the connection. Brent Moore coming from Ohio. There's been a fairly consistent pipeline from Graham High School to Blacksburg, and some names popping up in my mind would be Nick Bracetta. Zach Nybert was another Ohio guy.
Big inside trip there.
Moore gets 2. Headlee was able to stay off his back, and precarious situation there for North Carolina for a moment.
Staying up top, though. Let's see some throws.
Over under here. Let's see what happens. Both wrestlers leaning in, chest forward, and the official says stalemate.
They both look pretty comfortable there.
Yeah, they really do.
Gives me the hope that they're going to return and do it again. They did give 2 back points.
Oh, all right, they did. So takedown, and they give 2. So a 4-1 lead for Brent Moore. Maybe collar tie. Moore, Ohio State champion. He was a Flow Nationals champ in 2014. His brother Mitch, an accomplished wrestler as well. So big recruit. Coach Roby and Coach Dresser in Virginia Tech, and now in his first ACC semifinal. Early lead behind that throw. Shot by Headlee. Countered nicely by Moore.
There are some guys who love that position. Not sure how they really transition because their neck is so in risk, but Headlee seems to like to wrestle from there.
Good look at AC Headlee, the redshirt sophomore, Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. 3-2 against the field. He's a guy who moved up a weight class from 33 a year ago. Like Moore maybe was fighting a contact issue, but both wrestlers back into it. It's at a minute to go, first period. 4-1 lead for Virginia Tech.
Headlee was looking for that left side high crotch to give him some success in the first round against Martino. Now he's working from that 2-on-1.
Russian tie, dropped down for a trip opportunity, countered beautifully by Moore.
That was actually really cool. That was actually really cool.
For no point score, that was really scored.
But yeah, the finish judge gave him a few points for the attempts. There it is.
There's that trip again, and for the second time, he puts the Tar Heel on his back.
Headlee was so worried about the inside trip, he forgot about the foot sweep. That is really high-level wrestling right there, and the kind of stuff that I think Virginia Tech thinks that Moore can do something at the. Watch how slick it is. He gets all of his weight on the back foot, bink, right to his back. Smart wrestling. It's also low risk. He's not putting himself in any danger. Look what Headlee did. He had a 2-on-1, reached over for the opposite side elbow, and went for a boot scoot on the opposite side. Tons of space, tons of risk. And compare that with Moore, just got into a better position.
Headlee for the first time working on top. 8-1 our score, third period. Virginia Tech trying to get another finalist into the championship round tonight. Slowly into the tripod, cautiously is Moore, and he is away. Headlee lost him at a 9-1 lead. Brent Moore, Virginia Tech in control. Start talking bonus points if you're just joining us for the first time. A major decision worth an additional point. Tech fall with near fall criteria worth 1.5 points, and then a fall, a couple of extra points to go along with the advancement and the placement. So right now, Moore in that major decision territory, leading by 8.
I mean, you would say that Virginia Tech is trending well here in the early part of the round. Wrestling for bonus points, advancing people. Nice shot.
Shot by Moore.
Loser by Headlee, but Moore does a lot to. So there's like so many little things that Moore's doing right now to prevent a more complex defense by Headlee.
See Headlee with that left hand close to the throat area. More repositioning, trying to get Headlee back toward the center of the mat to give him space to work. Headlee on the back pedal.
He's going to want to... So this head over stuff is pretty good, but really what he wants to do is oh, far be it from me.
Moore gets the 2. And both wrestlers close to going out of bounds. Not quite yet. More repositions, and he will ride out the second period, leading 11-1.
So typically from feet, we talked about this earlier as a way to prevent funky wrestling. When you have somebody on their feet, they're pushing away from you, they're fully extended, their legs across your body, you use the inside of your elbow to punch the backside of their knee, and that lifts them into the air pretty dramatically, and your foot hits their back foot, they land on their hip, it's a pretty quick 2 takedown. Coming back into the head usually just causes more complication, and you split your hands for no reason. When you reach up, you put yourself at risk. However, that being said, Moore did just a fine job of finishing as he needed.
All Brent Moore for Virginia Tech as we start this third period. 11-1 for the 2 seed on top of the 3 seed from North Carolina. Headlee has had a tough time finding any type of offense in this semifinal match. He gets away, but...
And just to belabor the point, because I think it'll be relevant later, Moore is looking at matching up against Kevin Jack, who's, 7'4" or something. And if he allows himself to split his hands and come for the head as opposed to doing a clean finish at the knee, then he's gonna find himself in a much less efficient position. He's not going to be able to finish as well.
Tell you what, Kevin Jackson, a tough tassel on mat number 2 with our ACC Network extra feed. If you want to dial in with the 2-time ACC champions, leading Zanetta 2-0 in the third. Nothing's easy in this conference. The depth, the talent just continues to get better. Here's a headlock and a throw by Headlee, but boy, Moore gets off his back quickly. Scary, dicey moment for the fans from Blacksburg.
Also, to be fair, it wasn't a legal headlock. He didn't have an arm. Not sure they would review it, but he definitely did not have an arm. He like bully headlocked him. Big brother headlocked him.
Shot in by Moore. That last flurry of activity seemed to take a lot out of the North Carolina wrestler. Headlee was hunched over trying to catch some oxygen.
This is not the takedown he wants to give up.
Moore shoots in.
Because he has a...
Now they're going to stop the action, potentially dangerous. Those legs got tied up. The knees were bent at an awkward angle, so they'll restart in the center.
Well, he also almost just gave up. It's a 9-point lead, and he almost gave up a takedown on that. He shot in on the high crotch and didn't decide to finish fast or finish well. Put him at injury for risk of injury, which apparently he's a little dinged up, and also he almost lost the major. That being said, he got the major.
Brent Moore, Virginia Tech. Hokie fans have another finalist. It's a major decision, 11-2. And the redshirt freshman will march into the finals tonight against Kevin Jack of North Carolina State.
Good win.
Does he have enough to dethrone Jack, do you feel?
I mean, Jack was 2 seconds away from going to overtime on the mat 1. I think he does. I just think he needs to have a smart game plan and stay away from certain things that Kevin Jack does.